I'm going to take our last few minutes to introduce to you the electric vehicle managed charging interoperability profile, which is some ongoing work that will be discussed in greater detail by my colleague Kun Nguyen at one of the future meetings that Chris laid out for you earlier on. So the goal of the electric vehicle managed charging interoperability profile is to normalize information exchanges between the electric vehicle service equipment, or EVSE, the charging station management system, and the utility or distribution system operator, as well as any required human in the loop, to ensure appropriate actions across the electric vehicle and grid interface. As you can see, the results should be improved, facilitate improved planning and operations, and help maximize electric vehicle value and use in demand management programs, and eventually enable a bidirectional power dynamic when everybody is ready for that. I'm not saying that everybody's ready right now. I'm just saying that this is laying the groundwork for that down the line. As you can see here, the communications envisioned for this interoperability profile are fully compliant with FERC Order 2222, which formalizes the role of aggregators and market access requirements, and therefore essentially installs aggregators as a point of interaction with various grid utilities and operators. Of course, so that all options are considered, there is also an information exchange strategy that does not involve an aggregator and instead relies on bidirectional information exchange directly between the charge station management system and the utility. So we're trying to consider all of the different potential architectures. But so the important thing, though, is that just knowing whom you must communicate with and via what interface doesn't actually describe how these communications must be managed to ensure successful delivery of the services in question, right? And so you have to know what the interface is and then understand how these communications are managed, and that's how you get to interoperability. So here you can see the sequence of information exchanges that would be required through this interoperability profile. And we should note that in the sequencing, there are at least 3 different categories of information exchange. There is communication about the opportunity and opting in of the resource, right? So in the upper left corner, right, there is a need identified for demand management. That need is broadcast or shared via some different protocols. There's a variety of ways to do that. And then the operator informs back up, yes, we're opting in. Then there is a separate set of communications about the dispatch, right? So you have to dispatch the resource. I'm guessing that the opportunity communication and the dispatch communication are going to have different requirements. And then, of course, there is performance confirmation and validation of the service provided, right? So you have to not only say, yes, we did it, but then somebody's got to verify that it was actually done. And then at the bottom, there's also a reconciliation communication as well. That may actually align well with the opportunity exchanges described in the first type of exchange, right? But so this approach, which I think is inherently logical, also validates our approach to crafting interoperability profiles that address, right, physical function, information models, and communication protocol requirements. So it is our hope that by having these functional and informational and communications requirements well specified, that we could enter an era where testing and certification becomes more commonplace and readily available to ensure that whatever device or system you or your customers buy into, that they will have the necessary access to the markets and operations domains actors to bring about a really smart and more capable grid into the future. And again, like I said, my colleague will present a deeper dive into the electric vehicle interoperability profile work that we're doing at one of the future meetings of this working group. So that's what I had for today.